Welcome everyone to our Wednesday mastermind session. We call it Attraction in Action. So we just want to get you into action around attraction. Well, we can sit around and we can talk about it all day long, the what to do, the how to do it. We can improve your knowledge, your skills, your mindset, and your habits. Yet if you don't get into action around attraction, that's the challenge, right? Yet we also think about the 4 categories that we must focus on if we want to build a sustainable revenue share organization. I call it the 4 R's, right, guys? It's recruiting, it's revenue, it's retention, and reproduction. And having actions under each of those categories, I think, is essential to you building a sustainable revenue share organization and ultimately retiring from this industry with plenty of residual and passive income. So I've got a couple of great guests today. I've had the pleasure of coaching with them one-on-one and coaching with their organization, their team. It's Jeff and Amanda Whitespeare. If you have not heard of these guys, then you must be hiding under a rock somewhere. I'll tell you what, because they're down in Houston. They're crushing it on the real estate sales side. They're crushing it on attracting agents to align with our wonderful organization. So Jeff and Amanda, welcome to our call.
Yay, we're excited to be here. Thank you, Sean, for having us.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
For having us, Sean.
What's happening, Jeff? All right, let's hear the quick story. So you're a husband-wife team. You've built a large organization. You guys are crushing on the real estate sales side. Yet I want you to just kind of go back to the beginning. Tell us your story. How'd you get into real estate? How'd you find EXP? And what was the catalyst to building your revenue share organization?
Amanda, you want to share?
Sure. We joined EXP 6.5 years ago. Before that, we were at KW for 7.5 years. We learned a lot there, but we kept hitting a cap. Like we just couldn't get past like 125, 150 sales a year. We were like, nothing changes if nothing changes. And some random guy with a Dutch accent called us, Wilco, and he was like, hey, have y'all heard of EXP? And I was like, what? What does that stand for? What's a cloud? Like it wasn't my language at all. But he called me out of the blue and I had never heard of it. And so kudos to him now. He's a professional soccer player, not even in like actively selling real estate. And we were like, well, we might as well look at it just so we know what our competition is. And that was 6.5 years ago. So we joined. I was an advocate. Jeff was huge on, hey, we're going to make more money. There's tech, there's leads, there's stock. And he loved this idea of revenue share. But for me, I was like, I'm naturally introverted. I don't want a second job. I had every objection that you could think of. And my sponsor's like, you can do this, you're selling a lot of houses. And what really made us start even thinking about it, funny enough, now that Sean's on the call, is we hired Sean. He was like a legend at our old brokerage, and now he was not yet to EXP. And we hired him for production coaching because we couldn't get past 150. And then we wanted 300. And now I don't know if Jeff will share, but last year, the last 12 months, we did 725. So we were number one traditional, I guess, standard team at EXP Realty, which is mind blowing. So Sean knew us when we were babies. But we were hiring him one-on-one, and he was like, why are you not taking advantage of this revenue share? And of course, I had every objection handled. Like, this is why I'm not doing it. I need to prioritize, my time's worth money, all these things. And he's like, you made it so simple. Like, my favorite thing about him as a coach is he breaks it down and makes it so simple. He said, you're going after buyers and sellers all day long. And sometimes there's a decent realtor on the end of that other transaction. Just have a conversation. So he challenged us to just that week talk to 5 realtors about EXP Realty. And I was so frustrated. I was like, Jeff, I don't want to do this. This is like not my thing. It's outside my comfort zone. I'm going to stick to real estate. And Jeff said, we're paying him a lot of money per month to tell us what to do. So we should just try it. And we came back that next week and he said, how did it go? And I said, 3 people signed up. And that was the beginning of it. And before we knew it, we set a goal of just 1 person per month for 5 years. And at the end of 5 years, we'd have 60 people. And somehow that's turned into 900 and it's unstoppable. Our goal is 2,000 now. So yeah, get uncomfortable. It's fun.
Way to go, Amanda. I love it. All right, Jeff, how about you? Let's hear the story.
Yeah, so I went to college to become a real estate agent, own a real estate business. So I knew in high school I wanted to be a real estate professional, if you will. So I kind of went that road and moved down to Houston and joined Keller Williams. Was there almost 8 years. And like Amanda was saying, we kept hitting the cap. And we're maybe 180 transactions or so a year, which was great, but we couldn't get over that hump. So we just started looking, and our sponsor found us out of the blue, reached out to us. I guess it was a cold call. And then we really dialed in. It probably took me about 6 months to actually join the company. I talked to like 4 of the 6 board members and really did my research. And at the end of the day, I thought if if half of this stuff was actually true and the other half would maybe happen, this is a good opportunity for us. So I was the number 20 agent in Houston, Texas to join. I think 1,800 agent overall to join the company. Now we've been at EXP 6.5 years. We're 7-time Icon agents. We went to EXPCon last year, and we were ranked as the number 1 standard team in all of EXP for sales and for gross commission income. And that's a lot of props. I don't know if Sean knows this, a lot of props to what his systems are and kind of laying out the team structure. I felt like a long time we were just blowing and going. I felt like I was making money, but hiring the wrong people and didn't have the right people in place. So Sean really coached them maybe less than a year, and he gave me everything I needed to know to set up the right team structure. So we have expansion teams. That's a cool thing about EXP is it's no franchises, it's a borderless brokerage. So it really helps us bump up our transactions as a team because we're able to have expansion teams in Austin, Texas, Dallas, San Antonio, Corpus Christi. And then we just kind of copy and paste what we're doing in Houston and what we've learned from everybody and copy and paste it in those other markets in order to get all those sales. But which is great. I mean, I think the more houses you sell, the more opportunities you're going to have to share the EXP business model with other people. Although some of the transactions, maybe half of them, you don't really want to work with that other agent, but you still give them always one of the things that we implemented, and I'm sure they'll ask us or you ask us on the ways of getting people EXP curious is we send an email after each transaction and thanking them and letting them know that I just ask an open-ended question at the end of the email saying, how's everything going over there at Remax, or how's everything going over there at Keller? And then you'll be surprised how many people kind of open up information and start just telling you their story about their real estate story. And that gives you a really good opportunity to start talking to those guys. But so now I'm probably 60% production and 40% agent attraction now. Which is a big deal for me because I didn't join EXP in order to recruit. But when we hired Sean, we knew that he pointed out that we're missing that stream of income. And we might as well, if we're going to talk to buyers and sellers, we might as well talk to agents as well. But yeah, it's going to be, we're ramping up. We've added about 50 agents in the last 30 days, which is pretty good for our numbers. We're usually around 25 to 35 agents. So duplication is really setting in right now. We're almost at 1,000 agents, so we're excited about that. And we're just here to hopefully add value to you guys and answer questions and kind of. That's the cool thing about EXP. Everyone seems like they're an open book. There's no secrets, so I'm here to help out.
Well, good job, Jeff, and thank you, Jeff and Amanda, just to be here, just to pour into all of our folks here and just add value. So you made the decision, you hired me as your coach. Was that a tough decision, by the way? Because it's not inexpensive, right?
Yeah, no, if we wanted the team coaching. So not inexpensive, but the value was obviously there, long track record and everything. And the biggest thing is that you did for us is just structuring the team. Just like, hey, here's how it should look from top down. And once we implemented that, we really started seeing and then I could just keep the leads coming in and keep them educated on the proper scripts and the technology that's out there and creating every one of my agents unique value propositions that they can give to the buyers and sellers. And I can handle that. And now the structure was there and it just started rocking and rolling. So,
yeah. So you had a team, you had an organizational structure, and yet you were struggling with span of control issues, right? So what we had to do is restructure the team, find the right talent for the right roles. We had to restructure the compensation model so it was mutually beneficial to inspire people to act like owners. And the thing about building a real estate team and building revenue share at EXP, they're absolutely parallel. Each benefits the other. And now you've built a large team. You've got expansion teams in Austin, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, Dallas, and obviously in Houston. And now you can leverage those agents to go out and invite them to things like lunch and learns and virtual lunch and learns and things like that. So let's talk about that real quick. How do you get the agents that you've attracted to EXP? How do you get them into action around attraction, which is the fourth R, right? It's a reproduction. So how do you motivate and inspire them? How do you get them to show up to the training and get them to make the calls to the non-EXP agents?
Yeah, well, we do a lot of events and live events, and then we have our Tuesday production calls at 10 a.m. and we always have different guests on those because everyone runs their own unique business in certain ways. So we always give value that way, but we also we shied away from at first. What we were doing is we were doing lunch and learns that specifically were to explain about what EXP's benefits and everything like that. And that did create some traction and things like that. But what really changed for us where is where we started doing like production training and, you know, how to track and work with investors and how to build an Airbnb business. Or we have all of our, you know, there's 900 agents in our group and everyone runs their own, like I said, unique business. So they'll come and they'll do those events for us. And then we just, you know, indirectly sell EXP. And a lot of people at the end of the class get the value of that. And they see that, you know, they're like, what are these guys doing? Can you tell me more about EXP? And it's more or kind of an organic flow, and they just become interested in it. But we've also built some culture, took your advice there, where we created a team name, and we created swag. We created retreats and specific training and specific documents and things that we share with our organization. And then everyone's kind of going towards one kind of thing. And I think it's really going to bump up a lot because we're picking out 3 or 4 charities in order to serve, in order to get more people on board with pushing those charities. But when we have those charitable events, obviously we'll try to get as many non-EXP agents there as well. And then they'll kind of see the culture. So it's neat with EXP. Traditionally, the brokerage would create the culture forever for a long time until EXP came around. And then you see that the large teams and large organizations are creating their own culture within this the culture called the EXP platform. So we have our own unique culture as well that we do and we've created. So I think that's been really beneficial for us as well, is, you know, getting that swag and having our retreats and getting people just not only excited to join EXP, but to join the Team Legacy organization. That's been big for us as well.
Absolutely. So tell me about Team Legacy. What's the vision of that organization within EXP?
Amanda has this low goal of 2,000 agents. You mean I'd say put a 0 behind that. I mean, because it's when I don't like. I've been reading The Gap and the Gain, and if you try to find happiness in the goal and you hit it, a lot of times you're like, when you hit it, you're like, oh, I thought I would be happy, so let's do 2,500 agents now, and then maybe I'll be happy then. So for me, I'm just happy. Like the happiness is found in the journey of kind of building it and creating those small wins. We need to be stoked about how far we've come. We've been, 900 plus agents right now. We need to be focused on that. But the vision for me is 20,000 agents. There's going to be millions of agents because we're in, I think, 25, 26 different countries right now. So that's the vision. And then throwing these huge events is another vision that is on our board, is, maybe renting out a hotel in Mexico and having, any EXP agent could come, but it's going to be like sponsored and brought on by our legacy organization and things like that. So I see it in a pretty grand scale. And the cool thing is now that we've started that ball, it's going to happen regardless of, not regardless of our input, but it's going to happen, with all the momentum we built, it's going to happen, right, Amanda?
It's undoubtedly going to happen. See, when there is no prophetic vision, the people cast off restraint. What does that mean to you guys?
I was reading Paul's message. I love that. Signing up for your coaching. I'm telling y'all, I've used the stuff that he taught me, like for recruiting for the last 5 years. It's been amazing. So what did you say? Sorry.
Where there is no prophetic vision, people cast off restraint. What does that mean? What do you think?
I would say like you need that visionary to paint that vision. Like for me right now, it's 2,000 agents and everybody's like, oh, 2,000 agents. Otherwise, I feel like we've all got this like scarcity mindset or limited, thinking. And so it's nice to have someone kind of push you in a positive way.
So Amanda, let me push you in a positive way. 2,000 agents, once you hit that, and you undoubtedly will, what's next?
Then we'll probably aim for 5, I guess. My goal is 2,000 by the end of this year.
Okay, so you've got a short-term goal, you need that long-term vision, right?
Yeah,
See, it's in absence of vision, we fall victim to circumstance, right? There is no motivation, there's no energy behind that to get the people to get into action around attraction. Now, one of the things I've learned, and you guys hear me say this all the time, if people don't know what they're going to say or who they're going to say it to, they're not going to say anything to anyone.
Right.
So that's why I place an extreme emphasis on the reproduction aspect of our organization here called Libertas, to educate people, to improve their knowledge, skills, mindset, and habits around how to attract agents. And so we just want to pour into them. And here's what happens. Your organization exponentially grows. I remember last March, I logged into my RevShare dashboard. We were adding on average 9.25 agents per day. Okay?
Wow.
Per day, you guys. And since I got a late start, you guys, with building RevShare at EXP, at the group is now like 2,200. The last 30 days, 144, which is lower than average. Yet at the same time, the best months for attracting agents that I found is going to be March, April, May. Okay, March, April, May. A lot of people say no, fourth quarter is where you're going to attract the most agents. I did not witness this last year. Did you guys with me? I didn't see the incredible growth that everybody said that I was going to get in Q4 of 2022. And what I did recognize in 2022, it was March, April, and May. So the harvest time is coming. It's time to plant seeds. Okay, you got to create those conversations, get them thinking about it, because oftentimes they're not going to say, okay, yeah, I'm sold. I'm going to come over to EXP today, right? Oftentimes it's a nurture period. It's 30 days, it's 90 days. Heck, I've had some that are 3 years nurturing period that finally made the decision, came over to EXP. So it's that the fortune's in the follow-up, no doubt about that. Yet we can't follow up just by sending them this EXP video. We can't send them, oh, let me tell you about the stock awards here at EXP. And you drip EXP all over them, guys, they're just going to ghost you. They're going to go away. They're going to become annoyed when they see your caller ID show up on their phone. That person just called me about EXP again. Send it to voicemail. So what
did y'all see him say 144 people in the last 30 days? Like, who else is mind blown by that? Like, who else would be like, I just want 144 people in my whole group? Like, talk about a machine. That's awesome.
It's working. There's no doubt about that. Yet, sadly, a lot of people, they don't treat building a RevShare organization like a real business.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll just do it when I think about it. They're doing it entrepreneurially instead of purposely.
Yeah.
They're not applying models, systems, technology, or leveraging through people, for that matter, to help build that RevShare organization. So, our system is really simple. I'll do a webinar, I'll do a podcast. I have a call to action. That is that they're going to set up a free coaching session with no strings or obligations. If they're not with EXP, they speak with my ISA. The ISA talks to them first about coaching, and then they ask the question, and John, I'm going to take this off you. Sean made the decision to shift over to EXP, and I'll tell you what, it's been life-changing for him and his family. Have you actually sat down? Have you taken the time to investigate EXP as it relates to your real estate production, your lead generation model, your stock portfolio, and your ability to retire? Because I got to tell you, the finances, the economics at EXP are life-changing. Have you actually taken the time? Well, let's do this. Let's simply set an appointment for you to meet with Sean's right-hand man. His name's Paul Helm. He's going to walk you through a brokerage assessment. He's going to give you a brokerage assessment score. And by the way, you can't win the game if you don't know the score. Are you with me?
Right.
And based on that score, we'll make a decision whether or not you're going to spend some one-on-one time with Sean Kokoska directly to talk about the EXP model. Again, no strings, obligations. At a minimum, you'll learn about what the competition is doing and why the fastest growing brokerage in the history of real estate. Tell me, what works best? Is it mornings or afternoons? They say, no, I'm happy where I'm at. Well, that's okay. I mean, maybe you don't want any extra money. I totally get it. Yet, let me quickly ask, if Paul and Sean could show you how to put an extra $30,000 to $50,000 in your bank account over the course of the next 12 months, and you're doing nothing different than you're doing today, would it be worth just 30 minutes of your time or 20 minutes of your time, to meet with Paul? Well, since you put it that way, go ahead and put me on a schedule. So they use a scheduling link, get it on Paul's calendar. Now, Paul is not a licensed agent with EXP. he cannot talk about EXP as a direct result. What he's going to do is complete a brokerage assessment. He gets them to rate them on a scale from 0 to 10 on 5 different points. Number 1, technology and lead generation. Number 2, education. Number 3, their ability to compete head on with Opendoor and Redfin with their iBuyer platforms. Number 4 is stock awards, equity ownership. And number 5 is revenue share. And what he's doing is getting them to rate 0 to 10 on each of those 5 points. Then they add it up at the end. He says, out of a possible score of 50, you've rated your current brokerage a 9. If we use the academic grading system, that's an 18% grade, definitely not a passing grade yet. How do you feel about the number? Do you believe it's accurate? So guys, at this point, they've moved psychologically from this positive present mindset, I'm with RE/MAX, I'm happy where I'm at, to a negative present mindset. We've opened the window of doubt in their mind, like meaning if I stay at RE/MAX, I'm not going to shift from positive present to positive future. I'm more in a negative present mindset. Now, once we get them firmly rooted in this negative present mindset, and these are the 4 quadrants, right? So if you drew a square and you divided that into 4 equal squares, the upper right left-hand box would be positive present. They're in a positive present mindset. I'm at RE/MAX. I believe it's going to bring me to the upper right-hand box, positive future. Now, what we have to do, we can't just go from positive present to more positive future, meaning I know you're at RE/MAX, yet EXP we cap 80-20 split 16,000, meaning that's positive present to more positive future. That's not how we change their mind. We have to move them from the positive present quadrant, that's the upper left quadrant, down to the lower left quadrant, which is negative present. See, they're not open to solving a problem unless they know a problem exists. How are we doing? You guys with me on this? Yes? Okay, so negative present, then we've got to push them to that lower right box, which is negative future. So Paul says, well, describe your business, your life, your income, your production 5 years down the road if nothing in the ratings you've just given your broker changes. Ouch. Now, do you believe in this statement? If we do what we've always done, we're going to get what we always got. Also, do you believe in this statement? In order to get to better, we must get to different. So what we're doing is getting them to agree, and we push them to a psychological position of thinking about 5 years down the road. What does it look like if I stay at RE/MAX? So then he says, well, based on your responses, based on your assessment score, I'd like to do this. Let's simply set an appointment for you to meet directly with Sean. He's going to articulate the 8 different ways you should be being compensated. He's going to show you how you can almost magically move the rating from a 9 to a 50, from an 18% grade to a 100% grade. Tell me, what's the best time for you to get together with Sean? Mornings or afternoons? So yeah, it's a 2-step process, yet they show up to this call and now it's easy. I can talk about EXP. We've kind of, we let them lick the salt block for a little while and then we led them to the water. You guys with me on this? It's a very simple process. And each and every one of you, when you choose to treat this like a business, to implement the right models, systems, technology, and people, there's no doubt in my mind that you could add 300 agents per month to your organization. No question. All right, so based on what I just said, Jeff, Amanda, what are you guys thinking? Talk to me.
I love that you said nothing changes if nothing changes. I put in the little chat box. This is a fun post that I just shared the other day, and it's so true. You were going to be the exact same person, probably in the exact same situation in 5 years, except for the experiences you get from the people you meet, the places you see, your experiences, the books you read, and the habits and things that you think. And so without having those new experiences and new conversations with someone, you're never going to grow or change.
I love what was it Chad who just posted in the chat, just older.
Yeah.
Just old. Nobody wants to just be old.
Yeah, no, I did the same thing. And I took your agent attraction and action class when you first came out with it. And I use this quite often, especially if someone wants to come in order to, because there's usually like 4 reasons people come to EXP. It's like they need to get trained, or they're really excited about the tech, or it's really a stock play for them, or really it's the revenue share. If they tell me it is the passive income they're trying to create, what I've been using that you taught us, Sean, is kind of painting a vision of what even $2,000 a month would look like to them, passive income, wake up money, what would that look like? What problems would that solve? What bills would that pay? And then they're going to think, they're going to paint that vision, and they're going to get to a place in their mind where, man, that would be really nice to have that. And then you can say things like, well, having that $2,000 a month, it's going to make you happy, probably happier than you are right now. And then they say, oh, absolutely. And then you just hit them, not with a dagger, but you say, can you explain to me how you're going to get to $2,000 a month passive income in your current real estate model? And then they self-realize, without you telling them, that it's not an option in their model. And then you can go kind of for the close. Whereas, like, let's really set up an appointment to go over the ICA and get the application started and go today. So same thing with the the 4 or 5 grading system, but I've used that a lot, actually. Kind of paint their vision. They get to see, they get to feel, they get to see what it would look like to have that money coming in. And then they actually realize that it's not possible in their current situation. And then they realize that you are the solution for that. So that's good stuff.
Gotcha. Right. So, fantastic. Amanda, did you have something?
What I love is you guys recruit in a completely different way than I do. And so for you guys, ladies and people who are on here are like, oh my gosh, it's so over my head, or I just wouldn't say that, or that just doesn't, connect with how I am. You'll take those ideas and visions and kind of internalize them and personalize them and create your own way of connecting with people. But there's no right or wrong way, but just doing it. Mine's completely different. I don't even talk about revenue share. So it's really cool that there's EXP is EXP, and it's amazing, and they're going to join regardless, but showing that value in whatever way you can.
Well, there's 1,000 different things you could do to build a revenue share organization. It's just based on your dominant behavior style, based on what you're comfortable or even uncomfortable doing. What is your way? See, there's your way of doing things. There's my way of doing things. And I think the way of doing things, quite frankly, guys, it just doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
So it's really up to you. You can plug and play a system, no doubt about that. Or you can devise your own system based on the successes of others. See, success leaves clues. So to study the Rob Flicks, the Gene Fredericks, the Brent Goves, of the world, what are they doing? What did they do to get to where they're at today? Yet, here's the thing. EXP has grown exponentially, and what worked 3 years ago doesn't necessarily work today. I mean, what got you here might not get you there. Does that make sense? I mean, bottom line, we've got to modify, we got to adapt. And the easiest way to do that, guys, is to plug into this call every single week. By the way, next week on Wednesday, during this call, I'm going to make a pretty significant announcement that I think could change the trajectory of your ability to grow a revenue share in a really powerful way. So I really want you to be here live. I want you to be one of the first people to hear about this, because you'll have the biggest opportunity if you're here, if you take advantage. And it's totally up to you whether you do or not. Yet I think this is going to be game changing. All right, so let's open it up to the audience, because we got two of the best at EXP on the line with us today. I want you to, here's how you can ask a question. Number one, you can just unmute yourself, and let's play interrupter rules. You just interrupt me. Or you can move your mouse down if you want to be more respectful. Click on that reactions button. You see that little reactions icon when you move your mouse down to the bottom? You see that little bar at the bottom? It says raise hand. Go ahead and raise your hand if you have a question for Jeff and Amanda, or for me, or anybody on the call. Maybe you just want to ask the group a question, and that's what I love about this format. So I see a hand up by Amber. Take it away, Amber.
Hi there. Thanks, everybody. I would love to hear Amanda talk more. You said that the way that they described was not the way you do it, and then especially as a woman, you might do it differently. So I'd love to hear more.
Yeah, I feel like I convert more girls than guys, because we have all the feels, right? For me, I start off every single Zoom, let's say it's a 30-minute connection. I don't do most of the talking, because I feel like you get paid in direct proportion to the questions you ask. And you might spend 30 minutes talking about technology, and they're like, I hate technology. I don't even want to touch technology. And so I just say, hey, I really want you to get the most value out of this Zoom possible. I want you to walk away after these 30 minutes going, wow, that was such a great use of my time. And I'm so thankful that I got to meet that person, and I have the resources that I need. So just tell me, where are you and where do you want to go? And they just talk for like 10 minutes. All of a sudden, all the ammo of the touch points that you need to talk about. And then after they finish that, you just say, if you could change one thing about your business, anything, what would it be? And then they're already going, okay, and that, like you said, Sean, that negative mindset of I need to change. And they start self-realize already. And a little trick that I learned actually with Amber Fain if we were in a class. There's something that Sean teaches called predicates, and it's pretty much how people receive the world. Some people are visual learners. Like if you listen to Jeff, he's like, paint the vision. And if you could just see it, like you can pick up these little words. I'm going to give you a little cheat sheet that I have been using. I've talked to 4 brokers in the last 5 days. Like brokers right now are really struggling. Their top producers are leaving. Their overhead is high. But if you can pick out what their predicates are, like how they internalize the world, and start to use stuff that kind of connects with them. I'm telling you, I've had conversations with brokers going, oh my gosh, we just click, or our energy is just the same, or I just feel so balanced with this conversation. It's the most craziest like mind trick. I feel like everybody in agent attraction should learn this, but copy and paste that and kind of practice those. If whenever you say something, say, listen to what you just said, or does that ring a bell? Or if this checks every single box, depending on what their predicate is that they use. But I feel like really connecting with that person and having that emotional tie, they're going to listen to you so much more intently. And then I kind of do the opposite. I'll say, we focus on production, and everybody, there's no right or wrong way. We focus on production, and these are the systems we have. And what I found is if you double your production, you will be excited to talk about EXP, and then you will get that residual income. And then they're like, oh, that's different. This feels refreshing. And it's just a no-brainer. So have fun with all the options and run with it.
That's powerful, Amanda. Way to go. Awesome. See, what you're doing is you're asking questions to discover and allow them to self-discover where they're at. Then you meet them there. See, you've all heard the expression, meet them where they're at. Here's the challenge. They have no freaking clue where they're at, right? So by asking questions, you'll be able to identify where they're at. That's what the 0 to 10 rating system does, is it helps them ground. Here's where I'm at. Then I want to meet them there and then lead them to where I want them to go through the EXP model. And once they see it, they can't unsee it. No question. So I want to share something with you guys, because the rules or the game, I should say, has changed at EXP, right? It used to be EXP who, and now it's kind of become those agents that are more savvy, higher producers. I'll get a call every so often from somebody saying, hey, I've done all my own research. I understand the EXP model. I'm ready to make the move, yet I'm trying to decide which group to join under. And they're interviewing groups now. And the game has changed. So the bottom line is, I think the group that provides the most value is going to win at the end of the day. So we've got to focus on adding value. Now, you might say, well, I'm a solo practitioner. I've only been in real estate for 12 months. What value can I bring? You can bring a ton of value through your partners above you in your organization. And I would encourage you to reach out to them to find out, well, what is the value of the legacy group or Honey Badgers or the Libertas organization, to get crystal clear on this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and open the photo just for a second and kind of walk you through what happens when somebody asks me that question. Hey, I've already made a decision. I'm coming to EXP. I've not made a commitment to anybody, yet I'm talking to the leaders of RevShare organizations. So we put together a 2-page PDF that we can send. Uh-oh. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It looks like you haven't completed the screen share. It looks like you're starting the screen share. You haven't completed it. Do you have, I think you have one more button to click. Oops, I think we lost Sean.
We lost him. He'll come back.
It's those darn Wi-Fi's. You know what? I am a tech person.
Hold on, Tim. I'll go ahead and jump back in.
Oh, you're back in. Okay.
Yeah, I got the weirdest window that popped up that said Zoom quit unexpectedly. So let me go back to sharing my screen.
There we go.
Okay, thank goodness. All right. So benefits joining under us. We just outline, okay, what do you get access to? What additional value can I bring to you to align with the EXP organization? By the way, if you don't have a landing page that really articulates this, I would encourage you to put one together. I mean, it's really simple. And by the way, you can check out joinsean.com. Okay, so you've got to have a place to push them. See, they've got all this energy inside of them. And if there's not a place that they can channel that energy, if there's not, here's your next step, or here's where you can go check this out, guys, it just stays within them. It becomes stress, anxiety, worry, and they're going to make a rash decision. So, and here's what I really wanted to show you. And Jeff and Amanda, I think you guys can leverage this at a very high level because of your expansion teams and your organization, where pick one of these two options. We're building a team here in Austin, Texas. Gayla McGowan is a former Keller Williams team leader. She moved down to Austin to partner with me to build a real estate sales team. So when they make a decision, they're local to Austin and they want to come to EXP, they have option A or option B. Now, option A is they join our team, not as an agent, meaning they're going to build their own brand, have their own team name, do whatever they want to do, yet they join our team as a referral agent. Now, for that, they're going to receive a $16,000 cap at EXP. On their personal transactions, they get 100% of their commissions, less company dollar. They will not receive team admin, transaction coordination, or ISA support. They will not receive any expense reimbursement on their personal transactions. On team closings, meaning when I provide them with a qualified lead who has set an appointment, meaning Amanda, I just set an appointment, it's a listing appointment for you, 10 o'clock on Saturday. Here's the address. We've asked 22 pre-listing qualifying questions. Here's the answers. You're going to pay me a 50% referral. Now for that though, not only do you get the lead that's already qualified, the appointment's already set, we're also going to do the TC work on the back end, meaning get a signed listing contract. Once an offer comes in, negotiate the contract. Once that's done, you hand it over to our transaction coordination team. We're going to take it from contract to close, and you're going to pay us a 50% referral fee as though you're a team agent. Does this make sense? So they're leveraging off all the 80% stuff. All they have to do is take the listing, negotiate the contract, they get 50% of the deal. So we on team leads, we do provide TC admin and ISA support. We also do not cover any expenses like staging, photography, anything like that. All right, so here's the thing. If they want to join the team, oops, and Amanda, this is where that kind of comes into play for you and Jeff, okay? They go option B, it's an $8,000 cap, or if you're a mega icon team, it's a $4,000 per year cap, right? Personal closed transactions, the team agreement states that we must collect a minimum of 25% of every deal. We'll also provide all the admin and TC support. Expenses would be split on the same split, 75% of the agent, 25% of the team. Team closings, we go back to a 50-50 split and 75% agent and 25% team on expenses. At the bottom, we got some bullet points of how we're going to help them improve their production, their income, their bank account balance, and net worth. So anyway, you've got to have something that's going to set you aside from all other organizations out of EXP. And I think the more time and energy you put into that, you guys, the easier it is to attract agents. Jeff, Amanda, what are your thoughts based on what I just said?
I love it. Everyone wants to be part of a team.
Yeah, you're spot on there. You gotta show value with your group. We have something similar to that as well. Some PDFs. We have an agent attraction booklet that we give out to our agents that want to focus on that. And then, yeah, you gotta, just like you're going to provide your unique selling proposition to the buyers and sellers, you got to be able to show your worth and what you're going to provide to, especially the top producing teams and independent brokers that are coming over. So yeah, the game has definitely changed. I've noticed that as well. I'm a little bit probably too much detached from the end result, and I'm working on that. Like, I truly believe if I pray, I pray a lot, and if I pray to God to give me the right people and create this company that will provide this and this and this, and then I actually meet with somebody and I give them my unique proposition and show them everything that Team Legacy offers, and then they choose to go somewhere else, I'm completely okay with that. And I'm trained myself to be detached from the outcome. Amanda's a little bit different.
I'm like, why don't you love me? Come back. We can be friends.
Yeah, but I think, again, I think people that are supposed to be with me will be with me, and the people that aren't won't. But, it's probably a fine line there. But at the end of the day, you got to define and find your unique value proposition. And if you're a brand new agent, go to your My EXP app and look up, and you can see your upline and kind of and really work on those. So we've really been telling our downline to reach out to us if they need us, and that's where we've seen the most duplication. Really is reminding people that we're here. Don't suffer in silence, and then call me when you're mad about something you haven't reached out. You've reached out too late, right? So, but yeah.
Love that. Yeah. So homework for all of you is go to your leaders and say, hey, I'm ready to be a leader. And I know I haven't been recruiting on the level I should be, but I know I have resources. Can you send those to me so I can study them and start talking? For me, it's so simple. I talk to 2 people a day and I have 3 meetings a week. It can be coffee, it can be lunch, it can be a Zoom, and then that's it. And if you can like just talk to 2 people a day and retire in a few years off of that, it's just unbelievable. So tell your leaders, because they're busy and they have a lot of people, I'm ready to step up and be a leader. What's my first steps? And you'll thank yourself later for sure. It's not scary, I promise. It ends up being fun.
Love it. Great assignment, by the way, Amanda, Jeff, thank you guys for that. So the bottom line, and I want to underline what Jeff said, where he said, you must create a unique value proposition. Like if I'm a non-EXP agent, I do my own independent research and I want to join a team. Let's just say that I call you and they say, okay, why should I join under you? Just like you do with your real estate sales business. I mean, if a buyer said, I'm thinking about buying a house, why should I use you to represent me? Or somebody says, I'm thinking about selling my house, why should I choose you to list with me? See, you are paid in direct proportion to the value that you provide. To quote Earl Nightingale from so many years ago, yet he said that back in the 1960s, as it applies today, just like it did back then. The more value you provide, the bigger your bank account balance becomes. There's no question in my mind. So, we're over time, yet I just wanted to take advantage of more time with Jeff and Amanda. Jeff, Amanda, any final thoughts, words of wisdom for these guys?
Yeah, can you share the link for someone if they wanted to book you for a one-on-one? Because for me, that was the most powerful thing for me with recruiting. Like he taught me how to do the ETA business build out and how to build teams. And now it's such an easy recruiting play of, hey, let me help you do your business build out. You'll know exactly how you're going to hit that goal. Or, hey, you want to do a team? Teams is my jam. I've got that. And it's totally Sean's stuff. And I'm using it for recruiting. So doing the one-on-one with him and having him break that down for you has been the best return on investment.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
Amanda. Thank you for that testimony.
I would say, kind of get out of your own way. You really, one of my leaders, he has over 250 agents of our group. So
They're in here too. See all these Canadians? I see you, Andy and Joe. It's crazy.
yeah, we have a lot of Canadians. Go Canada. But one of my agents always says you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. So if you really believe that and you get someone on the other line, on the other side of the text thread or the other side of the email that is truly looking for something like that you can give, don't be, yes, you should be scripted and things like that, but just know that you're not going to say the wrong thing to the right person. So, kind of get out of your own way and start talking to agents and start seeing, what their pain points are and, and start building your group. So.
Great advice, you guys. All right, so I did post the joinsean.com URL there, guys. Go ahead and click on that if you want to check that out. I did also, based on Amanda's request, I posted a way that you can book a free consultation, a free coaching session with Icon Coaching. You guys, I promise you, there's no strings, no obligations attached. Yet you'll learn about what we have to offer here at Icon Coaching to help you build your revenue share organization. So I trust that each and every one of you who chooses to build revenue share at a higher level will click that link and schedule your free consultation. Jeff, Amanda, I owe you a debt of gratitude. And thank you so much for coming on with us today and just pouring into these folks. Amber, thank you for your question. That was fantastic. And until next week, guys, just be on purpose, be productive. And as always, just be powerful. Get out there and make it happen. Talk to y'all soon.
All right. Thank you, Sean.